Ever get that feeling, looking at a painting or sculpture, like, how could a person even make this?
I know exactly what you mean.
Well, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a world where art gets flipped on its head. AI-driven creativity.
And it's not just hype.
Not at all. We've got excerpts here from AI-driven creativity, transforming art and design.
Great read.
Right. And it's going to guide us as we figure out what these breakthroughs really mean. How is AI actually creating, and what's in store for the future of art itself?
Well, a good place to start is machine learning. At its core, it's basically teaching computers to, learn from data.
So, like, imagine an AI going to art school, but instead of years of classes, it's absorbing every painting, every doodle an artist ever made at warp speed.
You got it. And the AI isn't just making copies. It's picking up on the artist's style, their brushstrokes, even how their work changed over time. It's like it's decoding their creative DNA.
Okay, so it's getting deep in there. But this is where I always trip up a little. It still sounds like fancy copying to me.
But it goes way beyond that. We're talking about things like generative adversarial networks or GANs.
GANs. Kitschy.
Right. So with GANs, you essentially have two AIs duking it out. One tries to create art, the other's a super critic trying to spot the fakes. And this constant battle, it pushes them both to become more and more sophisticated. The result, AI art that's shockingly realistic and often completely original.
See, now my brain's doing backflips. Computers. Understanding creativity. How is that even possible?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And to get it, we got to talk neural networks.
Neural networks. That sounds vaguely familiar.
Well, think of them like the AI's brain, modeled after our own. These networks have tons of interconnected nodes that process information in really complex ways. It's through these networks that the AI takes everything it's learned, all those artistic patterns, and uses them to generate something totally new.
So like with the Painting Fool project,
Yeah.
It's not just mimicking, it's actually trying to make art that has feeling.
Exactly. And it's doing all of this based on the data it's been fed, which leads to some really wild questions, like, what is creativity if a machine can do it? Can a computer have artistic intention?
Okay, now that's just sending chills down my spine. Because if AI can tap into emotion, even if it's simulated, what does that mean for human artists?
Yeah.
So we skimmed the surface of how AI art happens.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean? Like for the art world, for actual artists, is this good or bad?
See, that's what I find so exciting. This isn't some robot takeover story. It's about AI becoming this whole new kind of creative partner.
Partner, huh? I think most of us, we hear AI art and we jump straight to those headlines about winning competitions and whatnot.
Oh, absolutely. Those grab your attention. But the reality is way more interesting. Think about that Next Rembrandt project.
Right. They fed an AI, what was it, thousands of Rembrandt's brushstrokes.
Exactly. And this wasn't about replacing the guy. It was like using AI to understand his genius on a deeper level.
Okay, but how do you go from brushstrokes to a whole new Rembrandt? That's some serious leap.
That's the magic part. The AI wasn't just copying, it was finding these hidden patterns in how Rembrandt used light, shadow, even the whole composition of his paintings. And then using all that, it could make something that felt like a lost Rembrandt, like it captured his essence.
That's wild. But is that useful to, say, a working artist today?
Totally. Imagine an AI that studied your whole portfolio. It could pick up on things you might not even notice in your own work, those little quirks that make your style yours. And then it could play with those, give you new ideas, new directions you'd never think of on your own.
So it's like an AI brainstorming buddy.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the audience, the people experiencing the art. How's AI changing that relationship?
Oh, now that is where things get really wild. Picture this. You walk into an art exhibit, but the art itself reacts to why you being there. Like your movements, maybe even how you're feeling, change the colors, the sounds, the whole experience.
Wait, that's not sci-fi, that's real.
It's happening. There's this artist, Refik Anadol. He does these huge immersive installations. AI takes data from like the air around you and turns it into these incredible visual symphonies. It's blurring the lines between who's creating what and who's just watching in some really cool ways.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. So if we can personalize the art experience that much, what about design? Everything else we see and use every day, we've talked about AI teaming up with artists, even like reacting to us looking at the art. But what about design? Everything from our phones to the clothes we wear, is AI changing that game too?
It's funny you should mention that because design might actually be even more impacted by AI than traditional art.
Whoa, really? How so?
Well, think about it. Every single day, we're bombarded with design choices. Every website, every product. Someone carefully planned that to, make us feel a certain way, maybe even buy something. AI is taking that to a whole new level.
Okay, now I got to know more. Give me an example.
So UI, UX design, right? User interfaces, user experiences, that's all about how we interact with websites, apps, all that. AI can now analyze tons of data on that, like where are people clicking, what are they ignoring, even how their eyes move across the screen.
So it's like Big Brother, but for design. Kind of creepy, honestly.
Yeah, there are definitely ethical concerns to think about. But if we just focus on the design aspect, it's pretty amazing. By seeing where people struggle on a website, AI can point out what needs fixing, where the designer's guesses were off, and it can even suggest improvements.
So it's less about guessing what works and more like having AI give you hard data on what to tweak.
Exactly. And it's not just about making things easy to use. AI can make the experience different for each person. Imagine browsing online, but the website changes its layout, the colors, even what it recommends to you based on what UVE looked at before.
Like having a personal shopper for, everything online. That's kind of cool.
Exactly. And this personalization thing, it goes way beyond the web. Fashion, for example. Imagine an AI stylist that knows your body type, your style, everything, and designs a whole wardrobe just for you.
No more standing in front of the closet for an hour. I'm in.
Yeah.
But seriously, with AI doing all this design work, are human designers going to be out of a job?
That's the big question, right? And it's normal to wonder. But just like with AI art, I think it's not about replacement. It's about humans and AI working together. The real magic happens when you combine human creativity with AI's ability to analyze all that data.
So AI is more like a power tool for designers, not a replacement.
Exactly. Think of it like the printing press. It didn't get rid of writers. It just changed how they worked, opened up new possibilities. AI is the same way for design.
This has been mind-blowing. From the techie stuff like neural networks to imagining AI designing our entire world.
And we're just getting started, really. This field is changing so fast. There's new stuff popping up all the time.
It's exciting, but kind of intimidating too. Like if machines are getting so creative, what does it even mean to be a human creator now?
That's the question we all got to wrestle with. But one thing's for sure. The future of creativity, it belongs to those who can embrace the new tech A&D, hold on to what makes us human, our curiosity, our empathy, all that good stuff.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And to all our listeners, next time you see a cool design, a piece of art that grabs you, remember, AI might be hiding in there somewhere. But more importantly, think about how your creativity, your unique voice, can be part of this whole new world we're making.